You are listening and or watching Pwnecast. This is episode 38. We are in patch 6.0.3. I am your Warlock host, Belle. This week we do have a special guest. We have Midasman the Warlock. Welcome, Midas.
Hello.
I did also bring back the Aussie admin from the Pwnecast page, and that is admin Huge Bloke.
Holla.
The big sexy.
The big sexy. I can't say that because I
Good day, mate.
Had to be done.
I did also bring the Riders of Rohan with me as usual. I'm rethinking whether or not I should have, but I'm glad that they're here anyway. I did bring the mage who forgets to ice block in arenas, Frieza.
Ice blocking. It's overrated. You don't need it. It's for losers, quitters, people who don't. Yes, I do forget sometimes, yes.
A birdie told me that, by the way.
I should keep my mouth shut half the time because people don't really catch what I do half the time.
You would have never noticed if you hadn't said I forgot to ice block.
That's right. I did hear that in TeamSpeak days ago, didn't I? I wonder what little bird said that.
I did also bring the shaman who likes to put meat skewers on his totems, spammy.
That's a good idea. I could have shish kebab. That's delicious.
This little meat goes here.
On my searing totem, I put a little piece of pork. That's nice. That's a good idea.
Glad to have you. We do also have the Death Knight who taught his ghoul how to work the stripper pole
Nice. It's because the last time I got up on stage, I was booed off, and I'm still having very much, I'm having nightmares over that time, so yeah.
I'm not sure I would like to see the ghoul. I want to see Jimmy up there, swinging up and swinging across the pole.
Who's Jimmy?
The big old zombie-looking one.
Oh, I'm like, who's Jimmy? Do I even
You don't know Jimmy?
Jimmy to me means something different, so when you say Jimmy, I don't really know.
He has like the hand coming out of his head, and he's like, yeah.
He's a zombie buddy. He plays poker with us on Thursday.
Intros and we've already
just so you guys know, Jimmy in Ice Cube culture means something totally different. So if you don't listen to Ice Cube, you're not going to get the reference. But for those of you out there that are listening or watching and listen to Ice Cube, then you laughed right along with me. So this week there was not a ton of news throughout the week. But yesterday PTR was announced. They have started data mining things from PTR. For those of you that don't know what PTR is, it is going to be the public test realm for patch 6.1. Typically, they have PTR open for anywhere from a minimum of 30 days to sometimes 3 months. While they're working stuff out, they do allow you to get on there and to test stuff so that they can work on bugs, do fixes before that goes live. So we were talking about it the other day, and if people are trying to get a timeline of when 6.0 itself is going to drop, because BlackRock Foundry is going to be released in February, I don't see them releasing a patch too soon after BlackRock Foundry, so we still might be a good four months out before 6.1 hits. Blizzard has not announced when that's going to hit. They also have not announced when PTR is going to open. I think you have the option to see it now in the drop down, but it's not open. So we're going to have some PTR talk for the first part of the show today. Before we get into the PTR, the big news item that was really important for people that have salvage yards. The crates that you get now stack instead of filling up all your bag space. So if you've noticed that they've started stacking, it was a hot fix that they did put in. I believe it was the 9th that they did hot fix that. So let's get right into PTR. Big, huge, important, fun stuff, which is followers. So they did introduce a legendary follower. We are going to go ahead and give the name, which is it is going to be Corona. And that's going to be in 6.1 that has been data mined. I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty excited for some legendary followers.
I am, especially since, I have a lack of followers and I can't seem to get any epic ones. But Garona, I'm looking at the abilities that she has, and I'm not really that impressed with them, though. I mean, I understand the rogue abilities, but yeah, I would love to have seen her as a bodyguard, but that doesn't look like that's going to happen.
Makes sense.
I can't say I've looked at the abilities too much. I had a real quick look in one of the forum threads about it, and about as far as I got through was the name and the fact that she's half orc, half Draenei. And then my mind went in a whole different direction, and I never got anywhere else. That's how it happened.
All right.
That's awkward.
She likes to party.
I just don't know how that would happen, and it was kind of awkward, and I got stuck thinking about it for a while, and I'm just going to shut up now.
Well, so apparently there's an untapped fetish there that we didn't know about. Midas, are you a follower junkie with your Garrison?
No, I'm a slacker with my Garrison. I've got to be honest. I'm a bit of a slacker. Yeah, I'm with you, dude. I'm like, I don't know. I need to get into it. I started getting into it today, actually, funny enough. But, yeah, I'm behind everyone else on that.
I can't deal with this accent. I'm going to have an accent overload. I apologize. I am sweating. I cannot deal with this accent. It's like,
See, the novelty of mine's worn off now, so the focus shifts back to you.
Yeah, it's all
you know, off topic, it's because when I was younger, I listened to boy bands, and there's a boy band that was, they were from England. They were called Five, and it's like, I'm having a flashback of those teen years.
Okay, we can take it off. And later, Bell, if you like.
I can't that he just quoted the song. Okay, so back on topic. They are also introducing a new follower, which is Harrison Jones. He does come with special traits such as Scavenger, Mentor, and has the ability Explore Extraordinaire. So that's pretty cool. At least it's nice to see that they're going to be doing continuous additions to the Garrison as far as followers are concerned.
I want to see what the George Harrison is supposed to. I want to see his comments, like our pleasure bot. He has some ridiculous comments that he comes out with. You know, like the comments go really funny. But I like to see what the new ones are going to say when they're walking around your Garrison.
I can't wait to sing Garona, Harrison Jones, and Leroy Jenkins all out on a mission.
We're talking about we're not mentioning Leroy Jenkins in this
Dude,
episode.
You got to screenshot that. If you ever get there, you got to screenshot that.
I will. Not that I have Leroy as follower. That would be awesome.
So, okay.
Am I the only one that still feels like it's like one of those tablet games that you play where every 2 hours it's just like cha-ching, it's time to check the game again.
I love that because there's always something to do.
I know you do.
That's my favorite. And if we're doing something, I'm like, I'm dinging. I got to go back and take care of my Garrison stuff because certainly it's going to explode.
I feel like I'm going out to do quests and dungeons and raids, and like I got like cookies in the oven at the same time. Right. That's how it makes me feel. Like ding! Oh, hold on, guys. I'll be right back.
So they have a lot of additions to the Garrisons that are going to be coming up. One of the things, and we were just talking about this in the pre-show, we talked a few episodes about when they did the developer Q&A, they talked about bringing personalized Garrison music to your Garrison. The way that they've chose to outlet that is it's possible, right? Is it something that's been official before I even say it? No?
I haven't seen anything in blue yet.
Okay, so
This is the first mention of how
they mention it.
There's been some talk that it's possibly a jukebox that will allow you to change your Garrison music. We don't really know how that's going to be into effect. There's kind of some theories surrounding it, but they did talk about in the developer Q&A that you were going to be able to switch from different various releases of expansions types of music. There hasn't been any more information on that as far as the Garrison specifically goes, but
it was one
would be
note.
Go ahead.
And I'm trying to look it up as we talk, but they basically the impression that was given was that you were going to somewhere out while you're questing in the zones. There was going to be records that you pick up as a reward, or you find, or you excavate, or something like that. And there's because there's an achievement linked to it to get 5 records for your Garrison. So if that's the system, I give them credit for the uniqueness of it, but at the same time, like it's a bit. I haven't got nice
It's
words
a bit
for
Barbie doll house. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
It's a bit like that.
It's like, come
I
on.
thought it'd be kind of cool though, in some way, like in the movie Gone in 60 Seconds, before they go rob cars, they put Lowrider on, and they're sitting there and they're jamming out. Like before you do Arena, you put your favorite song on. You guys you ready to queue up? You're like, hold on. Give me a minute. Give me a second, guys. I'm really got to get my groove back.
It's called Spotify.
Spotify.
There's also a mention of something called a Tunatron 5000, which I have no idea where we're going to get that. Is it going to be an engineering thing, or how that's going to be made too as well?
Interesting. Yeah, they've got a lot of stuff, and as it's happening, we'll make sure that we're keeping aware of it, and we're posting stuff on the Facebook page to keep you guys involved in what's happening with PTR. They did tweet that we shouldn't pay too much attention to the data mining because it's really in its raw stages, and that a lot could change from now and then. They haven't done a lot of class changes or spell changes. Most of it's already live stuff that's been from recent hotfixes, so there's nothing really a mention there. They did data mine the heirloom upgrade tokens, which will upgrade your heirlooms to level 100. They are called the time-worn heirloom scabbards. So they did data mine that, which they talked about.
I want this for the stuff that I grinded for months for in Siege of Argamar.
And to me, that's awesome.
I do want this.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
Yeah,
because we're pretty much like progressive now.
I think if you're a person that likes alt spam, you should upgrade your heirlooms.
What's this thing called? I'm making notes.
Time-worn heirloom scabbard.
Heirloom scabbard. Okay.
Midas, how many alts do you have on a scale of 1 to I need help?
On a scale to, I've only got about 4.
That's it?
That's not bad.
I'm pretty much Warlock all the way, so
and you're Affliction,
Hunter,
right?
Priest. No, I'm Destro Demo. Having said that, I'm thinking of going Affliction shortly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Join the club.
Stop jumping on the bandwagon. Stay clean, white boy. Stay clean. Like seriously, don't do it.
Nope. But you know what it is? I leveled
as
Affliction. I leveled as Affliction, and I just miss it. I just miss it. I want to get back to that. I like spreading disease. It's cool shit.
Well, I mean, they have an app for that. There is a new mount that was introduced. It doesn't look any different than the Firehawk, the purple Firehawk. What is it? The
purple.
Corrupted.
It's purple.
It doesn't look any different to me from the picture, but it's the Void Talon of the Dark Star, which summons a writable Void Talon of the Dark Star mount. It looks pretty awesome to me. Did you guys get a chance to look at that picture?
It's purple.
It is. I like it, but it looks like a... what's the one you get for...
It's the Corrupted Firehawk is what it looks like to me, but...
Yeah, there's 3 different versions of the same thing.
I'd like to see them step outside of their box a little bit. Pound Fist looks really good. They've introduced a lot of really good Warlords of Draenor mounts, but I would like to see them continue to step outside of the box when they're doing their mounts and stuff, because, I mean, really, they need help.
Speaking of mounts, did you see the addition? It's unclear exactly how you're going to get it so far, but they're saying that you can now unlock chauffeured vehicles. So you don't even have to drive yourself anymore. You can get someone else to do it, and you can sit on the back of your Mechano Hog.
That's pretty good.
I think it's about time. I think I've been playing this game long enough that I should be able to sit back and take the ride.
I like taxis.
I'm surprised that they haven't installed this to be able to get off our flight path yet. That really needs to be a new thing coming up.
What, sorry?
To get off your flight path, can you do? You can't do that yet.
Just to ask the bus driver to stop and let you off in the corner.
Yeah, it's like you go over a mountain, you're just like, bye.
Oh, they did. There's new 125 stat food for secondary stats. That's exciting. Because 100's already epic, but the 125, that's going to be a nice little boost. A lot of stuff with this PTR, it's like they've taken everything that's they've taken everybody's stuff into consideration, and now because they released the expansion before they were ready, and we know that Blizzard did this, now they're starting to refine, and it looks like maybe their original thoughts and ideas are starting to take shape, instead of just pushing out a product that clearly wasn't ready, but it looks like that now they're starting to take it in that different direction. which, I mean, that's pretty exciting to me. I like new, so.
What concerns me, though, is
about the garrisons.
Yeah, what concerns me is that everybody's getting all excited about these, and it's just like any pre-expansion or pre-patch when they first throw out the PTRs. They throw it all out to PTR and see what sticks.
Right.
You know, so a lot of this stuff, yeah, we definitely are not getting, you know, but it's just, my problem is everybody gets so excited right now about all stuff's coming, and then they say, well, where's it at, you know?
It's not coming.
But it's like what you were saying a couple of weeks ago, that, you know, they throw all these awesome ideas out there and, we're going to make this change and that change and whatever else. They gauge the reaction from people on the forums and the people playing the games. They see what we like, what we don't like, and then make more changes accordingly. Like, if we hate something, then they're going to spend so much time working on it.
I disagree. Where the hell's my damn dance studio that I had on the box for the Wrath of Lich?
Oh, dude. That thing again. That's going to haunt them for the next 20 years, I swear.
They are also introducing new garrison missions. Some of it's just tooltip changes of what was already there, like the Seals of Tempered Fate is also good. Obviously, it's going to be for Black Rock Foundry when it drops, but looks like they've changed some icons around. They've changed the descriptions and the tooltips. It might just be maybe they thought it didn't work before. But like, for example, the garrison missions, Relic Hunter, Dream of Argus, for the Seal of Tempered Fate. So, I mean, they have a lot of stuff as far as they're adding new missions. They did add, the loading screen. OMG, the loading screen. I'm going to turn into a teenager. It is a beautiful picture of, it's the garrison. Well, it looks like my Alliance garrison, so I'm assuming that that's what it is. It is so pretty, and I am so excited for the loading screen. I know it's something that's really lame, but we stare at the same loading screen for a year, so it's nice that there's something different. They are adding that in there as well as other icons.
Like the mount, it's also purple.
Right, the mount fate. That's the basic stuff that was added for PTR so far. We are going to make sure that we follow this really closely throughout the week, and as it progresses, make sure that you've liked the page so that you can get those updates rather quickly. They did finally get back to doing hot fixes over this last week. They've done some more class tuning and some small class changes. It looks like a lot of it is PvP related. Specifically, Holinka still refuses to address the Warlock issue. We're not going to talk about that.
I'm feeling better. My shaman's feeling much better.
They're not broken, so nobody panic. Warlocks are not broken. We're totally fine. Everything's great. We're OP all across the board, according to Bashok. So it is what it is. I'm not even going to go there. But, so...
Go to here.
I'll let it go. I'll let it go.
They are continuing to work on classes when it comes to PvP. The majority of the hotfixes this week were actually all PvP related, and a lot of them were set bonus related for PvP. So if you are wondering if something's changed with your class, just make sure that you check out our Facebook or go to Wowhead, and they keep track of those blue tweets as well.
I have PvP gear now. I'm so proud. I have 2 whole pieces. And that nearly makes a set.
Because he learned how to Dougie.
I learned how to Ashran.
He learned how to Ashran, ladies and gentlemen. He can now...
It only took me like a month to figure out where I was going and what I was doing, and I still have no idea. But I got loot, and I don't know how I did it. So that's improvement somehow.
Don't question it. Don't question it.
I'm taking that.
Oh, how did I get this little pretty box in my bags? I'm not worried about it.
The point is that you went in and you got it done.
Right.
Congrats.
If nobody else has anything to add as far as the PTR discussion, we pretty much covered on the important stuff that people would be interested in. There's a lot of stuff on the PTR if you want to continue to read about it. Wowhead has really good coverage. They data mine that stuff pretty much on a daily basis, so you guys can check out Wowhead for that. I know that Lycan has some very... No?
Oh, yeah.
Oh. He doesn't.
So building up the anticipation.
I got some.
Oh, okay.
Let's move on. Let's go with Ray.
So
or Friza.
Friza has some PvP.
So I was doing some research lately. Me and Balasang's husband, we do a lot of twos together, and we were really having a hard time with some people that were drawing the enemy, and their health was so much higher than ours, drastically higher than ours. And we do have the greatest PvP armor at the moment. You know, we're not behind by anybody. You know what I mean? So we were confused, and I'm now realizing that mythic gear is very, very valuable in PvP. So what these people are doing is they're having they have mythic or heroic gear, and they're PvPing with that. And if you're wearing 660 gear, but they're wearing mythic gear, it's always going to top off. So that's why these guys' healths are so high when you go to arenas.
I've been waiting 7 weeks now to say it. Can I say it? I told you so. I told you so. For 7 weeks, I've been telling you you're going to raid this season, and you were like, "No, I'm not raiding." And I was like, "Yes, you are."
On a grander scale, Frieza, what does this mean? What's the point, I guess, I'm going to say this because me and you talked about this last week about how if, you can wear your PvP gear now, if it's the good item level PvP gear as a means to be able to do PvE stuff. What is the point then of having PvP gear if there's not going to be that distinction? What do you
If you are in a raiding guild that does mythic daily, weekly, and eventually you will be full mythic, there is no reason to do PvP to get gear unless you want to get raided at that point, because if you have mythic gear, that is better than the best conquest gear you can buy right now. So
the best conquest takes you to 690. What is the best?
Yeah, 690, and mythic would be 695 in the next couple raids coming up, I believe.
I think so.
We're not on a mythic level.
And another thing, I was watching a couple of videos, and the bonus sets are better in the PvE than they are in the PvP. So as for mages, I'm not saying that's for everybody. For mages, I have done some research into this, and the Frost Mage bonus sets in PvE Mythic are much better tier sets compared to your set you get in Conquest gear. So what it would be like Raiders would have to do PvP to get good gear, but they reversed it, and it is PvP. If they want to be the strongest, hardest hitters, you're going to have to do raids to get the better gear. So what I'm going to say is either it's broken, either that's what they intended it to be. I don't know, but I don't know if it's going to be that way in the next season. I haven't really figured that all out yet. I will say this, though. I think in a month or 2 months from now, it's going to be a lot of the top players in the world are going to be wearing nothing but mythic gear.
So I assume you'll be
No.
No?
No, because
there won't be any rating.
No, I will not be wiping 100 times on one boss just to hopefully get a chance.
Okay,
it's coming.
Makes sense. Okay.
I won't be doing that. But if you do have a guild like that who is doing that, do your PvP, do your conquest, try to get rating. But in the end, in this season, I don't think it's going to be the same for next season. I think they're going to fix it. At the moment, wearing PvE gear, if you're wearing Mythic, will be better than the best PvP gear.
This goes back to something I posted like a week ago, and I've gotten a lot of like buzz response from, where I said PvEers need to PvP and PvPers need to PvE,
yes,
and that they're really starting to reward you for being a jack of all trades and doing it all. And this is a reinforcement of that. They're gonna make it easier for you to PvP if you PvE,
right,
and they're going to make it easier for you to PvE if you PvP.
Wow. I'll be the first
Can
to
I say it?
Kicking by Ashran then with my full set of looking for raid gear.
Well, I'll be the first to admit that I've taken my 620 gear and some of the conquest gear that I've gotten from PvPing, and I've raided with it on my hunter, and I've pulled some really epic numbers with it just because of the set bonus from it. And the set bonus alone from the hunter PvP for survival is where whoever's affected by your black arrow increases your fire damage, has really have put me above and beyond some of the hunters that are even more PvE geared than I am PvP geared.
Just because of the bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to definitely depend on the bonus. Like I said, that's just the mage. I'm not giving everybody. You have to do your own research to see what your class. If the bonus set's going to be better in the PvE or it's going to be better in PvP, because you may have to make that switch. You may have to have 4 pieces of PvE, and then the rest can be conquest or whatever you want to do with that. If you're lucky enough to be able to choose which pieces you get to have, which won't be for a couple months. It's going to be a couple months.
Because they removed reforging from the game. Now people are going to have to tweak their gear by mixing and matching their pieces.
Correct.
Well, it's a good thing they gave us a whole second page worth of void storage so that we could keep all these things.
So good thing for everybody to keep in mind if you guys are PvPing. Make sure that you're just paying attention to your gear and you're minding what's going to be better for you.
Don't disenchant that PvP gear just yet.
Just yet, yeah. Be
Not
careful.
just yet.
Good.
That's all I got for today. I mean, all this could change. This is just 1 week. 2 weeks it's been out, 3 weeks that we're all hearing about this. This could all change next month. It could all change in the next season. It could, all this stuff can change.
Cool.
So there's no permanence.
I do have I have just a few things for Bell's Bites this week. We have for Crushing Bones and Cracking Skulls meta achievement. It's for the Cata Raid dungeons. It's still bugged, so don't bother wasting your time on that. Don't know if they've announced a fix or if they're even working on it. But
We've
it's
been
still
waiting for nearly a year and a half.
yeah.
2
So
years
don't even bother because it's still broke. If you try to change your outposts in any of the Draenor zones at the moment, it'll let you. It will take your money and then it'll put the original building back anyways. Apparently the GMs will.
What?
Apparently the GMs will only refund your money if they're in a good mood. But fix is coming, but they don't have an ETA for it. So
Is that where all my money's gone?
if you're trying to get the GM's help, make sure that you open up with, "Hey, I love you," and maybe they'll.
I've learnt that one twice this week on both extents. I got one GM that was like, "Oh, sorry, it is broken. We know that. It's our bad. We haven't told you. Have your money back." And then when it happened a couple of days later, when I thought, I'll have another crack at it, and the guy was like, "Meh, what do you want me to do about it?"
Oh, man, that's messed up.
So make sure that you guys mind that. For those of you that constantly wonder how to ignore players on other servers when you're in any kind of a cross-realm situation, whether it's a battleground, dungeon, group, whatever you're doing that's cross-realm, you can manually block them the same way you send in-game mail. You have to have the hyphen with their server name. I say this, and please don't be offended, it's really not complicated. If you know they're on a different server and you can cross mail and all that stuff, it's done the exact same way. Because of the pre-made group finder that they've actually integrated, it's not the OQ and all of that. You can easily do that just as you can easily whisper them when you're in a group. It's the same thing. So if you want to do that, you just need to make sure you have the hyphen. There's no space in between, so it's just the hyphen and then the server that they're from, their name hyphen server, and it'll get you taken care of straight away as far as being able to block people cross server. For you pet and mount farmers, there is an add-on. It's called the Rarity add-on. That is something that Bloke actually uses. What does it do for them, Bloke?
It gives you, it's a tiny little icon in the corner of the screen, and it will, if you hover over it, it tells you a list of all the mounts and pets that you can farm up that you haven't already got. It keeps track of how many times you've killed them, how many times you've looted them, what the ratio is to...
Kind of like Overachiever?
To getting them. Yeah, basically it's Overachiever specifically for pets and mounts. When I log in at the moment, it gives me a little reminder in the chat window that there's 2 Christmas or 2 seasonal pets that I haven't got. It does all those sorts of things. Like, it makes you aware that there are certain mounts or pets at that specific time or in that zone. It's lightweight. It's so simple to use. Even I get away with using it. So if you're into farming up pets or mounts, like 220%. Just go and grab it, install it, and make your life a heap easier.
What does making life easier even mean? I don't even know what that means. We did have a question. I'm gonna pull the question real quick. We did have a really good question on the page, so let me pull that up real fast.
Is this the mathematics one? 6 times 3 plus 12 equals how much?
I don't do math, so
30.
Me and math don't really get along, but. Let me find.
He's trying to confuse you.
Christina Walden, she had asked, I think they should add dye into games so you can dye armor. Do you think this is a good idea? It's funny that she said that because we've talked several episodes ago about how we wish we could customize the color of your transmog. Because sometimes sets are only certain colors, and maybe I don't want to wear green. Maybe I love that armor. I know a lot of other multiplayer online games, MMOs, that allow you to buy like dye and stuff to change the color. What do you guys think? Do you think that would make it too...
Well, I mean, back in Pandaria, there was like 3 different colors for like your tier set.
Right.
If you got like the LFR version, it was like a blue. If you got like the normal, it was green. And if you got like the mythic or heroic mythic, whatever it's called now, it was like a red color. So you could kind of pick and choose which color you wanted, if you were willing to farm that dungeon and keep grinding to get that helmet for the 3rd time.
I'm for it. I mean, I'm also for keeping, you know, a lot of the other stuff they took away from Mr. Pandera of customizing your tune for damage, you know, the whole calculation, all the, you know, swapping crit for haste, you know. I think we should have kept all that. So I also think anytime you can increase more of making your character more custom, you know, to you and what you really want, you know, because that's the whole point of an RPG, you know, MMO, you know. I mean, you want to be different than everybody else. You don't want to be the same or look the same, you know. You don't even want to play the same for some part, so.
And along that same line, they already have the technology there. If any of you play Diablo 3, in Diablo 3, the armor you can buy, you can dye that to certain colors, keeps the same look of the armor, but the actual parts that are colored separately can be dyed. So the technology is there. It wouldn't take them much to transfer from one IP to the other.
Midas, what do you think about that? Would you fancy some dye?
No, I like the way you farm for the old stuff. You know, if you take like the Dark Coven set or something like that, you know, you've got the 3 different colours. I just like that. I like having to grind for the certain sets. I don't know, just a bit traditional, I guess. I just like it like that.
Yeah.
So you're saying we're lazy. It's okay. I get it.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
You young whippersnappers don't remember how it used to be.
There's another page question, and I'm going to direct this question towards Midas, and I'm hoping I'm going to stump him. Nick Gee, is it Gee, right? G-E-E is Gee, right? Nick Gee says, what is 6 times 3 plus 12? He's totally stumped.
30.
So 6 times 3 plus 12.
6 times 3, 18.
And then
30.
So I don't know if that's right because I don't know.
Wait, I'm confused about the question. Is that supposed to mean something else?
No, it was a joke, Frieza.
Is this a legit question or is this like someone trolling you?
I think they're trolling. Managed to confuse
I think they're trolling Bella
half the cast, but especially Frieza.
I'm intrigued.
Well done. Well done.
Yeah, you got me. I'll tell you that.
For those of you who can't see my animation, it went right over almost everybody's heads because obviously they haven't been on the page today, so they didn't get the joke. It was a funny from one of our page members. Nick, I thought it was funny, so thank you for posting that. It was hilarious to me. Thank you. I thought it was funny, but it was just he was joking. We asked if anybody had questions on the show, and it was a question that he asked. He was kidding.
So it is a legit question?
It was a question that he asked.
Well, gee.
We answered
it. 6 times 3 is 18, plus another 12 would make it 30. Is there anything else we can do for you?
But that was an epic fail on a lot of proportions. So anyway.
I thought it meant something like really deep or something.
No, I think that was the point because a lot of people on the page overanalyzed the question too. So. That's what happened. Maybe we need alcohol. I don't
Moving right along.
I've had my head in a book all day.
Move on. I thought it was funny. Lycan thought it was funny. It's because it's funny. So we'll move on. Let's go ahead and get into Lycan does have some lore, and it's very exciting lore because it is on my character, which is a warlock. My character is a destruction warlock, and her name is Belisang. So go ahead and take it over. I promise nobody will interrupt you.
Yes, so we are actually bringing up, and we're trying to go through our personal lore for the last couple of weeks and weeks to follow. So, what I have done is I have actually sat down with Belle and got to find out what her lore was about. Belisang is actually from Lordaeron, and I actually, before we started this, I thought her name would maybe be Belle's Angel or something along the lines of that, and it actually is standing for Beautiful Blood, which is it's a combination of 2 different names, and which is kind of ironic because a lot of the warlocks, their magic is so powerful that they will actually, resort to blood magic, and it's in the lore that they will resort to blood magic of their own to make their spells even stronger. But we find out she is from Lordaeron, and she lived there in the slums with her parents and her adoptive brother, which happened to be a gnome that they had.
Loser.
When Lordaeron was besieged, though, by the forces of the Lich King, both Belle's parents were brutally killed, and she was barely able to escape with just her brother. Her and her brother did happen to, however, make it to Dalaran. This is old Dalaran, which was in Tearsful Glades, or just shortly south of that, where she wanted to start study as an arcane mage, and she wanted to make a better life than what they had, and this was an easy way for them to get a clean start from the poor living conditions they were living in before. Her brother was actually recruited shortly thereafter into the Alliance Army, and to fight against the forces of the Lich King. And unfortunately, though, he was killed and raised as a Death Knight into the service of Arthas. This basically drove Belsang to move to, using the Fel magic, using that dark power to fight back and avenge her brother, and not only her brother, but her parents' death. Unfortunately, doing this, though, did have her expelled from the current tour, where she was studying to be an arcane mage, and she was lucky to leave with her life from the Archmages. Belsang, though, did vow to get revenge for what happened to her parents and her brother. Being filled with this bloodlust and absolute hatred to those who oppressed others, she had fought those difficulties of keeping that hatred down inside and that rage from just going out and just mass murdering everybody. But through this entire struggle, though, she's learned to use that Fel magic and use that hatred to work for a better good. And a lot of people look at warlocks for that reason, for that use of the Fel magic and falling towards the slaving of the demons and working with the demons as a weakness. And unfortunately, they're one of the strongest classes out there just for their ability not to be the enslaved themselves to the Burning Legion. And overcoming these adversities throughout her life, now we can find her battling the forces back in Draenor, and keeping Azeroth safe not only for her brother, but for everybody else.
That's right.
That was how cute.
That's right. Just a little girl from the trailer park. That's right.
Sounds like a violin story.
So Warlock is a fallen arcane
violin story. That's a heroic story of somebody who rose above and then killed shit.
And had sacrificed
killed shit at the end.
I'm not good enough to be a mage. I'm gonna go and do other stuff.
Right? At least she's not a mage.
I mean, I could
see. Warlocks are the reason we're not allowed to have class changes, because they all class change from mages before to warlocks, or if you're in the horde from a shaman to a warlock. So that's why we're not allowed to have class changes anymore.
Maybe I just couldn't cut it as a mage. I mean, I'll go out on a limb and say that it's possible with having only 3 buttons. I just couldn't understand.
There you go with that again.
Couldn't understand how to.
I'm going to soul steal you while I attack you.
I can't understand the concept of only 3 buttons in my rotation since I'm destruction. So, I mean, I can understand how it would be really hard for me to switch to
Conjure refreshment table and Q is the only button I got.
Exactly.
I've never heard your story before. That was really interesting. I'll tell you that.
Story. That was a great story.
It was.
Frizzy, you're mean.
Who's your brother? Big Dom? Is he the Death Knight?
He is the Death Knight. He is. Bryce is hysterically laughing. He's like, "That's Dom."
I just wanted to make sure that I was on the same page with everybody else.
Yeah, so.
For those that don't know, Belsang's brother is Big Dom. It's his Death Knight that is in the game, and it is a gnome Death Knight.
Like this tall.
And to sit there and we were working on our story, she's like, okay, well, Belle's human. How are we going to work this gnome Death Knight into the story? So, yeah, that's
Spammy saying Big Dom. You know what's funny is Big Dom. It's actually an ode to his childhood nickname that I used to call him. He was always built like a tank. When he was really tiny, he was like little miniature, short legs, but he was like Incredible Hulk on the top. And he was like a football player at age 5. And the whole family and we called him Big Dom. And even though he's a grown ass man, and I still call him Big Dom. Like, really? So it's just something that's always stuck with him. But he is gnome. It's adorable, and he's a tank, which makes it better because you can't see the tank. You have to mark him with.
It's kind of hard to heal because he's kind of hard to click on.
So that was a great segment. We are going to continue to have these Toon lore pieces each week. We're going to move through all the cast members and the Pwnecast admins. If you are interested in having him do a story on your specific Toon, write into him at pwnecast.net.
Got like 6 alts though.
Or you can message us on Facebook. Whatever. He's more than willing to do one for you. And
but I do huge blogs, so I'll do the whole story
on the show. So now that we've gotten the good stuff out of the way, let's get to the better stuff. Midasman, which I'm going to keep calling him Midas, if you guys don't know who he is and I have to introduce him, I'm a little disappointed, but he mans several very large Facebook pages. Obviously, he is a warlock, and it's the World of Warlocks. There's a group and there's a page. Are you on Raid Naked or no?
No. I'm not on Raid Naked. I'm on all my pages.
Yes.
Girls Booze Warcraft, World of Warcraft memes, which I do produce a lot of the work for that.
Man, I didn't know it.
Faction Wars, what else? And Magecraft, World of Magecraft. Oh, and I've got another little one at the moment, just sort of new, Blue Recluse, because I'm Alliance, obviously. So, yeah. So it's cool. Yeah, it all started with World of Warlock, so that's the one.
These pages that are class specific are awesome because you get a ton of these people that play these classes. So when you need help, it's a lot easier to go to these class pages to get the help instead of going to a general World of Warcraft group and getting a bunch of baddies who think they know how to play that tune, giving you really poor advice. So these pages and it's a collective of admins that they all get together and make these pages. One will make a shaman page, they do that so that the community has a lot of options. But what he's famous for is his sense of humor because the memes that he makes are hysterical, especially the Warlock memes. They're pretty much funny no matter what way you slice it. How long have you been playing World of Warcraft?
I joined in Wrath, so I was late. So before that, I used to play a lot of Street Fighter and Modern Warfare with Americans, actually. I used to play on the US servers, Killzone Nihilists, right, guys? They're still around. And, and then what happened? I bought StarCraft, and there was the 7-day voucher in there. Just have a go. I was the sucker for that. That was it. Do you know what? Yep. StarCraft never even went into the bloody PC. It never went in. So I just, I think I subbed after 2 days, and that's it. I've not played anything since.
Blizzard trolls at their finest trying to make...
Yeah, I got done. I got turned right over there.
And you've been a warlock since the beginning, or...?
Yeah, Midasman, my main tune. That was my first one, and still is now, and I play him to this day.
So did it call you? Did it call you to be a warlock? I mean,
yeah. There was just something about demons, and at the time there was a lot of stuff. I was just like the idea of balancing your own health to put out damage and stuff like that. You know, it just sounded like interesting, and demons are cool. I mean, fucking hell, they're badass, aren't they? So
I agree. Yeah. The Voidwalker. How can you say no to that?
Exactly. It's probably the succubus that done it for me. I don't know why.
I mean, it's not because you're a man or anything. I think she's hot myself. I'm just going to throw that out there.
I can bring it back then. I can't see any reason at all why you wouldn't want to run around.
I can't imagine why.
I'm just happy to see.
But there's my one. I won't tell you how I damaged my one. I
want to report some toy inappropriateness because that toy has been annihilated.
I find it incredibly creepy that we both have them and they're both broken.
Don't abuse your succubus. That's the moral of the story, boys. Don't abuse your succubus.
How did that happen?
Don't.
She has nothing, no legs, no...
No. Keep going.
Yeah, I won't tell you.
Boys are so weird. I'm just going to go on a record and say that boys are weird.
The succubus didn't say the safe word.
That's awesome.
Sorry, I couldn't help it.
Oh dear.
Maybe the safe word was more. I don't really know.
Isn't it always banana?
We weren't there. Sometimes it's pickle. I don't know.
I'm done.
I always thought it was banana.
I'm not saying I have the safe word, but if I did, it would be pickle. But
Where was we?
Pickle.
So,
Can't be Pickle. That's his nickname.
if my camera wasn't making my face really white, everything would be flushed. But thankfully, my camera's covering any blushing that might occur. But bloke and spam are completely red, so I'm happy to see that happen. Why did you? I mean, you kind of came out of nowhere, and when I say that, I mean I stalk Facebook and all the Facebook. We obviously the page admins have a page of their own, a group of their own, where we all communicate to make the community as a whole better. Most of the Facebook people are not aware that if most of the admins are friends with each other of all these pages, and that's really
creepy.
It's good because there's a lot of good communication to make sure that we're putting out the best content and who's trolling and these kinds of things. But you literally one day you weren't there, and then boom, everywhere Midasman. When did you decide to get involved in the community aspect?
When I wanted to join a Warlock group and found there wasn't one. And then I found there wasn't any other class groups. And so it all started with that, really. So it started off with a small group. And you was one of the first members in that group. And so was Lyra. And Lyra actually quite liked it and saw some of the stuff I started putting out. And introduced me to some other guys. And, it all started from there. And Joanne from Girls Booze. Phoenix took me on, and then after that, Vin took me into World of Warcraft memes, and I just like making people laugh. What can I say, And I think that because I got British humour, I'm a bit twisted, So I think that's a bit different from the others. So I just enjoy doing it, and I'm totally hooked now. I'm like doing it all the time. And going back to the bit about Garrison and why I'm slacking earlier, I think I ruined it for myself. So I made some memes, I don't know if you were seeing, about Mr. Garrison and 11 million players all trying to get into Garrison at once and all that kind of stuff. And had the 3 different levels and, I don't know, I think I spoiled it for myself. I can't go in there now. I feel like I'm entering Garrison. It's not good. It's not good.
I don't even know what to say. Some of the memes obviously are not appropriate for younger audiences, but man, are they fucking hilarious! Like seriously, if you get the opportunity, I'll link his stuff here right now, and then I'll also link it at the end of the show, and it'll be linked in the description on the video also, so that you can check out his World of Warlocks. He has a page and a group for the World of Warlocks. I get
4,000 likes. I gotta know what if 4,000 warlocks in one room do together?
Well, do you know what? Right, we done this series called the Dark Coven series, and we put out a load of videos. Well, we've done 4 so far actually. I think the last one we done was Halloween, but we literally it was on EU clearly. From the group we got a load of us together, and we went out and just caused some carnage. We done some server invasions, world PvP.
So
Lock
on. I mean, lock on.
Warlocks, and Warsong Gulch, whole Warlock teams and stuff like that. Really good fun. So, but they're out there. They're on the group, on the page. I'm going to do some.
I hate to see that.
I need to get involved with this Warlock page.
I would pay to see that. I want to see a video of this.
Well, we're going to do the plans. We're going to do a 40-man raid party, and we're going to go and cause some havoc and invade.
All Warlocks is what you're saying to me right now?
That's amazing. That's what I'm saying.
So let's be besties. And I will make sure I'm signed up, and I will be at the top of the list with my demon.
I think I've literally in the last 15 seconds decided that Hughes Blake might have to take a rest for a few days, and I'm going to have to crank out my stupidly enough.
So if you're a warlock, make sure you check out his page. Once again, at the end of the show, everything will be linked.
Awesome.
Keep in mind that where there's one, there's many. There's Shaman Nation. There's World of Magecraft. There is a Paladin page. I can't remember the name of it. There's pretty much Knights of the Ebon Blade is for
Paddy
Death
Power. Pally
House
Power.
Power. If you have a main and you are interested in being in these groups for these mains, players have a lot of good things to say. If you are having rotation issues, you are wanting to know about what talents, if you have questions, go to these groups, go to these Facebook pages, like them, support them, but you're also going to gain a lot of knowledge instead of going to the random World of Warcraft groups and asking questions, once again, like by a bunch of baddies who don't know your class and are just telling you, regurgitating what they've been told by somebody. So make sure that you're getting advice from the right people and not just listening to trolls and asshats that feel like they know everything.
Also, the nice thing is, I mean, for as a guy that's been in slash
who's been around since the 80s,
since trade chat was invented, you're not going to get the kind of advice that you're looking for, trolling trade chat. Whereas if you post something on one of these pages, like a legitimate question, someone may actually answer it directly to you, and you're going to get like that little message on your phone, and you're going to be like sitting on the bus or the train or waiting at the doctor's office, and you're going to read it, and you're going to get all kinds of happy.
I've got to tell you, I mean, this the page in the group works so well, and we've got I've got some great admins on there, and I've got bit like Lycan, I've got like Vitani who does lore and all this kind of stuff. So I've got lore covered, I've got PvP.
I was going to apply actually being a warlock. Naturally, I would want to be, but at the time I had a lot of stuff. I mean, I don't anymore. I did let go of some of my prior commitments, admin related with some other pages, but I mean, I have tons of time now. I'm just saying.
And this year we've got I've approached a few of the very famous sort of warlocks, real high ranking and all that kind of stuff, and hopefully, if it all pans out well, they're going to come and do some guest admins for us and some interviews and stuff like that. So it's going to be really good. And the bit spam, like you said, about the advice is fantastic. I tell you what, it's a real good community. There's no bad vibes. Horde Alliance. It don't really matter. It's all about the class.
Warlock's a warlock. It doesn't matter what side of the train tracks you're on. A warlock is a warlock, and the damage still kills. So it doesn't matter if you're Horde. I love you because you're a warlock. We can be friends. Just don't ask me to hug you. So I mean,
we can't.
We can.
I can.
So it's a really good community, and it's continuing to grow. You guys need to get on board with these groups and communities and support them, especially if you're a warlock. Or if you just want to stalk a warlock, go and like the page if you feel like stalking warlocks. But there's a lot of stuff, like he said. They do have lore covered. They do have lots of art, beautiful, hot, really hot art. A lot of hot art, actually. So they have a lot of good stuff. How can people get a hold of you?
On my Midasman page, just message me directly. If you want to message me directly, because otherwise, if you go through World of Warlocks, you might get one of the other admins. But yeah, Midasman page is the best place. And you check out all my memes while you're there as well.
And we constantly we share his stuff on Facebook on our page. So if you're rolling around on our page, make sure you give him a like. We always share his stuff. So make sure that you show him some support. I do know that it's gauntlet time.
Oh.
And I know that you're especially worried about this, Midas, because you're worried that you might be a wee bit rusty.
Because it's I'm gonna fail. I know. I'm gonna fail. I'm fucking prepare myself.
I find the more time I spend learning about Warcraft lore, the less time I spend working on my rotation. It's like a double-edged sword.
So, Friza, you let me know when you're ready. Here's how it works, Midas. We're gonna give you 60 seconds. He's going to ask the questions. The timer will start after he's finished asking the first question. If you don't know it, don't sit on it because then you're going to run out of time. Just say pass. Spam is going to mouth the words that are the answers because he does it every gauntlet. So if you watch Spam, he's going to tell you the answer because he's going to mouth it.
Like this, Spammy. Like this.
But if you really want to see what you know, don't look at Spam because he will tell you the answer with his face. So
when baseball season gets here, I'm going to start using a baseball glove. You only got two more months.
Have you guys got a record of the lowest score or something like that?
We know the red shirt guy got him all right.
You know what? Everybody does not as great as they think they're going to or as we think they're going to. I think when I was a guest on the show before I even became part of Pwnecast, I think I got like 2 right.
I got 3.
Yeah,
she got 2 out of 4 because she sat there. But
I did. So don't be nervous. Friza, are you ready?
That's fine.
I am. I was going to say I did drop the ball. I didn't realize that you were a Warlock until a couple days ago, and I didn't really go into the Warlock questions. I wish I would have gave 5, 6 questions of Warlocks, and I didn't do it.
He thought you were a green mage.
So you got lucky. I didn't get any Warlock questions.
Okay, whenever you're ready, I'm going to start the timer.
All right, hold on. Okay, let's see. Okay. Ready to go?
Ready.
Yeah.
Who is the new war chief of the Horde?
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. I've nuked him. Oh my god. That troll dude. Yeah, him.
Who killed Garrosh?
Who killed Garrosh? Don't know. Pass.
Who is the human mage that is chasing Gul'dan?
Cat guy.
Which tier are we in?
We are in 16.
What is the name of the PvP island in WoD?
Ashram.
Which is the Draenei that you go into WoD with and dies fighting Black Hand?
Oh, what's her name? Don't know. Pass.
Name the Shah in the Siege of Orgrimmar.
The Shah in the Siege of Orgrimmar. Oh, I don't know. I don't raid. Pass.
What are the names of the 2 shrines? Putting out some good questions here.
Moons and the sun. Shrine of Moon and Sun.
Who is King Varian's son?
Pass.
Time's up. Bad Alliance. Bad. It's Anduin. Bad Alliance.
I'm sorry.
I just raid servers and kill people.
I'm sorry. That troll guy is not going to be an acceptable
answer.
Taking a stab at a dark with Horty, of course it's going to be troll at some point, so that probably was not fair.
I thought it was actually pretty good because
I thought that was
those questions were Horde questions, and I was like, oh, this is going to be great. He's Alliance.
Bryce is mean. How many did he get right?
I got
I
you can call a redo if you want.
There was 3, but if you accept the troll answer, then there was 4. Which
No.
I'm going to happily accept.
Anduin
Shrine is a half, and the troll is a half.
Anduin
I think you lose a point
Anduin
for
is
saying the
King
troll
and
guy.
son. Anduin.
So there you go, Midas. You successfully
And
beat
it's-
Told you, now it comes to me, you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You beat Huge Bloke when he was our guest, so you beat somebody.
Sorry, dude.
So that just proves it that the English are better than the Aussies.
And everything except for
If we
swimming.
start a riot, a country war, that's not our fault. I blame Lycan. Bloke, you did have a shout out to give this week before I wrap up the show, right?
Yeah, just to my reunited guild, the Knights of Dark Age. They're one of Australia's more prominent casual raiding guilds. They're spread far and wide across the country in New Zealand, in particular Adelaide, which is my home city, and I promised them I would say hi and make light of the fact that they have a 6-drink minimum for raiding.
Yeah, I like that plan.
How you doing? Good to see you guys.
Why can we implement one of those? That sounds like a plan.
So that's awesome, actually.
Hey, I was gonna say there's an episode on American Dad where the son follows this English kid around the nature or whatever, and every time he gave him advice, it was horrible advice, but because he had an English accent, he did it. And he was just like, I cut my knee, and he's like, go put some bees in there, but he said it in the accent, and he's like, that sounds terrible, but it sounds right. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I just thought about that.
Surprise is saying that you can tell him anything and he'll do it,
so
right?
funny.
Yeah.
So before we wrap up the show, I did want to make mention the writers did get some new recruits. They are Pwnecast listeners. You guys that are listening, thank you for joining the writers. We're glad to have you. Hope to see you on more. And our raid team is 4 of 7 normal, which isn't huge. We formed a brand new raid group. Some of us,
We got like eight new people
some of
in
these
the raid.
people
like
have never
this-
even
this week,
stepped
though.
foot into a
Yeah.
raid. So for us,
I say
it's
well
good.
done to you.
Yeah, we're progressing quite nicely. So thank you guys for joining us.
Took down 5 this week.
This is the 38th episode. We're inching towards the 60th episode, the 50th episode. Like we're doing really, really well, and we're glad that you guys can join us each week. If there's anything that you want to know, you have questions, you want to get a hold of one of us, you can go to phonecast.net, and all of our contact information is on the Meet the Cast page. You can also watch the episodes from there, listen to the episodes. Make sure that if you're watching this, subscribe, give us a like on the video, comment on the video, tell us how we're doing. If you're listening via iTunes, give us a thumbs up, give us a 5-star rating, comment, let us know. If you're listening to this on Stitcher, make sure that you give us a like and a comment as well. Thank you guys for being on the show. Bloke, thank you for coming back to the show. Thank you for the hard work that you are doing on the Pwnecast page. Midas, thank you for being a guest. We had a blast, and we're going to for sure have to have you back because the accent is it's epic. So we're excited about that.
So when we
some Kool-Aid.
When we had our first episode with Huge Bloke, we put Aussie in the title, and on the related videos on YouTube, everything had to do with Australia. So are we going to put English accent, and then we're going to get a bunch of...
No, you're going to put Cockney.
Cockney, that's it, yeah.
That's it, and it's going to be just as bad.
Wow, my guys have ADD tonight. You're
going to put Pwnecast with a Cockney and see what happens.
Yeah.
Guys, we're out of time. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate it. Make sure you go to our webpage. Make sure you go to our Facebook, facebook.com/Pwnecast. We do the daily news. There's all kinds of good stuff going on to the page. Make sure you like Midas's World of Warlocks page, and we will see you next week. That's it.
Yes. Questions to the show.
Questions
Gives me something to do.
Bye. Get your weird girlfriend off the screen.
Dude. She's not Jane the Jameson, whatever.
Why do you know a porn star's name?
Who, what?
He has a doll of her.
I don't want to know.
Not where she's...